And a Zoom meeting after.
We have to get the okay from Kim. The Zoom connection isn't
Okay,
connected, so.
oh, there we go.
Just give me a few more minutes so I
Might
have
be
everyone
happy.
in.
Would go.
Is it?
Just give me a few more minutes so I have everyone in.
Okay.
Don't let everybody in, you know when that happens.
That's right, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Those were crazy days.
Oh, yeah, yeah, they were.
I know.
And we have like
I know.
stickers and all kinds of.
Yeah.
Oh, we're kids.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
we
yeah.
don't do that.
Bad.
Were you here?
Yeah, let's hear what the second one.
You're here for the vulgarities and the swastikas?
That's what I was here for.
Yeah.
You were here for that?
Yes. The previous one, I wasn't.
That's during COVID.
No, there was two. Yeah, two.
Awesome, all the time. Is Naaman on too?
Yeah, there's like 5 people, but they're not.
All right, I can hear you.
Oh,
Yep, I can hear.
Okay.
Let's see, Tim Led.
he's on there.
Oh, is
I
he?
think it's just the view.
Okay, good.
I don't know.
We okay? Okay. Good evening. Today is Wednesday, November 6th. It's a little after 6, and this is a delayed regular meeting of the City Council for the City of Trinidad. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is roll call.
DeBono?
Here.
Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Here.
Trahell?
Here.
Ogletree?
Here.
Williamson?
Here.
Griego?
Here. Please let the record show we have 2 city councilmen via Zoom that are here for the meeting. Item number 2, approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any corrections? All righty, motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Call the vote, please.
Williamson?
Yes.
Ogletree?
Yes.
Trahell?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
DeBono?
Yes.
Griego?
Yes. Item number 3, policy items and staff reports.
Nothing to report.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 4, petitions or communications, oral or written. There's a 5-minute limit, and you will be warned when there's 1 minute left. Dan Rossetti wants to speak about Osula Trail.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I heard that the bike trails had started already up at the Osula property, so I requested contracts on that. I did get a signed agreement with the city that they accepted a bid out of the company that was here from Amarillo. And the project's supposedly going to take 3 years. Blah, blah. It's a very vague agreement. I hope to God that's not the contract the city is holding them to. Also, at the last work session, it was stated by the city manager that they broke up the payments into 3 payments, so they'd be under 100,000, so it wouldn't have to come to council. But it's all in one agreement, so I don't know, you're kind of on the illegal line there, if you ask me, but I'm not a lawyer. I just like council to answer to the people in LEA, the skate park, how come this project happened like 4 months ago and it's already got a signed contract? How does that happen when LEA, the skate park, the pickleball courts, drainage out at the city shop has been going on for years? How do certain things happen within months? Another deal is I get along great with the guys out on the street, and rumor is, and it's not a rumor, city's not doing very well financially right now. They were told there might be layoffs, might be cuts. PD's losing two of their officers going north. They were told probably not going to be able to hire officers, which I hope that's not the truth. But then again, I requested wages of the city from the beginning of the year till now, and there's 4 to 5 people that have gotten raises. Most of, well, they're all at City Hall, most of them. And I don't see how people could get $4 and $5 an hour raises, and then you want to lay guys on the street off. I just think that's very wrong. And I just hope the city does whatever they can to get out of the jam they got in, because I know everybody's blaming sales tax down. That's not the reason. There's no money. The reason's bad management. Sorry. There was a lot of money. It's been spent. Let's face the facts. So I just hope everybody here, you seem to be more logical, and God, please don't let the city manager spend $100 grand without going to council. That needs to be changed now. If it doesn't, I think the public's ready to do whatever they have to get it changed. So, thank you, I appreciate your time.
Item number 5, council reports, Mr. Williamson.
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, Mayor, tonight I don't have any council reports. I do have potentially some remarks
Go for it.
or questions that I might, if it's all right, I could say
Sure.
at the end of the meeting.
Proceed.
Right now I have.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Sorry.
I thought you wanted to do it. Mr. Trio.
So I attended the senior center bazaar. They'd like to thank everybody that came out to the senior center on Friday and donated. Special thank you to Mayor Grego for donating some delicious baked goods that were snatched up like immediately, like within 2 minutes. I didn't even get a chance. And all the community members who donated baked goods, and the burrito sales went great. Just a reminder, the proceeds of these events and the fundraisers help to fund the senior activities group. So they can go on outings in the community. They pay for instructional classes in safety as well as exercise programs. So these are really good fundraisers. Also remember, the nut sale is still going on, so if anybody wants to buy nuts, we've got plenty to sell down there. So please call the senior center and order your nuts for Christmas. Also, Mr. Valentine, I have 2 requests, please, sir. I would like to review, a review with council. I wrote this completely wrong. I apologize because I wanted to say it right. I would like a council work session on the vacant property registration ordinance, please. Articles 526 through 533. A lot of concerns from the community that I keep getting calls from, and I think it's something we may be able to look at. Also, I'd like to request a work session on ordinance 7-50 through 7-53 of Article 8, purchases of Chapter 7, finance and taxation regarding the small purchases. Thank you so much. And that's all I got.
Right.
Are you gonna do Nathan?
Oh, we're gonna do the live ones first, and then we'll do the,
I have nothing.
okay.
Well, Monday is Veterans Day, and the Los Animas County Veterans Council is sponsoring a Veterans Day breakfast at Fort Wooten this Monday from 7 to 10 a.m. It's free to all veterans and their families, first responders, as well as law enforcement and their spouses. And any type of monetary donations are accepted because they need more allocated funds for restoration of Fort Woodin. And then that same morning, starting at 11 a.m., they're having the 24th annual Veterans Day Luncheon. It's going to be held across the street at Sebastiani Gym. And all veterans and their families are invited to come and enjoy a free meal. City Council has also been invited. When I interviewed Honorable Judge John Moschel, he's a veteran. He said to invite the City Council as well. And the luncheon is sponsored by the Los Angeles County Veterans Memorial Committee. And that's from starting at 11 o'clock on the 11th.
All right, sir, that's it?
Yeah.
Naaman, do you have anything to report?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Miss Erin, do you have anything for council reports?
Very briefly, it's been a quiet couple weeks, but this morning I attended an online, basically Zoom meeting with the Trinidad State College to discuss the strategic plan that has been in the works for a while for the college. And I attended that as a city council person as well as a member of the advisory council for the college. But I was encouraged that the college continues to make economic prosperity of their students and this area a main focus of their strategic plan. Each one of their pillars of the plan have to do with that, and making sure that the training and education that the students get results in them earning more and having a better life. So I really appreciate all that Dr. Epper is doing there towards those ends. That's it.
Thank you. I just have a couple of things. I just got a letter just handed to me before the meeting with a formal invitation to the Veterans Day Luncheon. And it's addressed to myself, City Council, and you, Mr. Valentine. You're out, Mr. Downs.
Yeah.
It's, they're having their 25th anniversary luncheon this year, so Sebastiani Gym at 11. It would be nice if we could attend. Pass that on. I have one more thing. It looks like 2A in the election passed officially. And I didn't realize there were a group of citizens that took it upon themselves to support and to get the word out to people what the tax was, that it's not going to affect the citizens of Trinidad, and what it's going to, the funds are going to be used for. So I really want to thank the only person I know of for sure that was listed on any kind of advertisement was Jen Green. She was the chairman. But it was the Citizens Supporting Initiative 2A, and they did a really professional job, and I personally want to thank them and council. Yeah, they did a great job.
Were you done, Madam Mayor?
Pardon?
Was that all your points? I just had a point of order, if I may.
Yes.
With respect to my public comments, may I make an inquiry of the city manager?
Sure.
And then make some comment on that. Mr. Valentine, would you mind, for the public record, just laying out the closing path for the 2025 budget coming up, just in general terms, for how that's going to proceed going forward?
So council was given preliminary budget 1st of October and it's out for public comment. We had that hearing. I don't believe we received any public comment at that hearing. We've had the work session where we refined down the budget. Now I'm currently negotiating with the unions. There's 3 of them that we're negotiating, and I will be coming back to council
to instruct the negotiator moving forward. That'll be, if it all goes well, on Tuesday, the 12th, since Monday work session would be Veterans Day, we're closed. So Tuesday the 12th, I'm hoping to have a special meeting to get council's instructions for negotiating, and then I believe it's the second reading, second meeting in November will be the first reading, and then in December, hopefully the first meeting, if all goes well, we'll have an approved budget. December, and that's kind of laid out in the charter, what's required.
Okay, I just wanted it in the public record for this
Okay.
meeting, but thank you, Mike. Mayor, I have no further.
Item 6, consent agenda approval. Item 6A, approval of the regular meeting minutes of October 15, 2024, and special meeting minutes of October 18, 2024, and October 28, 2024. Item 6B, approval of bills totaling $2,408,652.62. 6C is approval of payroll October 26, 2024 through November 8, 2024. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
call the vote, please.
DeBono,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 7A, public hearings. Public hearing for consideration of an ordinance establishing and implementing a program to charge mitigation rates for the deployment of emergency and non-emergency services by the Trinidad Fire Department for services rendered by the department. Motion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to move to table this issue of this session until we have an opportunity to talk with the chief. He's not in town tonight, and there are some policy issues that he asked us to provide input to the fire department on that we have not weighed in on. So I think it's important that we have that conversation with him.
Thank you. I also talked to Chief Backrack, and he's at a conference in Vail and was not able to be here, so he felt it in our best interest to do that as well. So I need a motion to table the public hearing.
I'll make a second.
Mayor, that's the motion that I made.
Oh,
I'll make a second, Councilman.
Second. Call the vote, please.
DeBono,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 8A, approval of La Puerta Business Improvement District 2025 Operating Plan and Budget. This was an item that was taken from the consent agenda, our last regular meeting in October. Councilman Ogletree wanted some more information on this. So we need discussion.
So, Mayor, members of council, Tim Lamb from the district was supposed to be online.
I am online.
Oh, and he is online.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Tim, to answer any questions that.
Okay.
And I also wanted to say that with me is Tom George. He's our counsel from Spencer Payne on the district. So I asked Tom to attend too, so that we can answer all questions.
Councilman Ogletree, do you have questions on this, or what was your concern at the last meeting?
At the time, I just felt like it was something that would be better, that we needed more understanding of what we were approving, and it just didn't seem like the right thing for a consent agenda. I'd like to hear from the parties too about where things stand with the Business Improvement District Is it going as well as they hoped? Are there any problems? I noticed that they're missing a board member, and I'm wondering if they're going to appoint someone to do that. There are other things. They could have an advisory council if they wish, and I'm wondering if they decided whether or not they're going to do that. So I just felt like it was important that we were brought up to date with what's going on, what's next for that district.
Mr. Lamb, would you give us just a brief description of what it is and what the current status is of the La Puerta Business Improvement District?
Well, the district is still in effect. It's still operating. It deals with public improvements. That's the purpose of the district. We have received some, we have roughly 10 mills for property tax. We've received some property tax distributions to us. We have not set up the public improvement fee, which is a 2% that we can impose. We've done it with the hotel. We have not done it with the Toyota store yet, only because of the things that have occurred with Mr. Cimino's passing in February. He is one of the members that we need to replace or determine what we need to do. The district requires 3 directors or trustees, and right now we have 4. We haven't decided if we want to add somebody or not. So basically the purpose of this is to help reimburse us for public improvements that we have constructed. We've spent over the last 4 years or so several $1 million in public improvements that included Americana Road, the bridge, the pedestrian bridge, some of the improvements that are across from the hotel, and it's the ongoing maintenance and everything. So this is a kind of a drop in the bucket. It's not a lot of money that comes in because we're taxing ourselves. We don't have any other businesses in the town that are part of this district. It is really Club 14, the Hilton Garden Inn, and our Toyota store. So it's our customers who pay some of these fees, and then that's that money that will be distributed back to reimburse us. We haven't done that yet for what we've spent so far. So we intend it to go on in the future. Hopefully at some point, as we decide what to do, we will further develop the La Puerta area, maybe bringing in additional businesses, and that will be subject to these fees, the public improvement fees, and the TIF, which is the tax. So it's, I think we're the only business improvement district in Trinidad that it's ever had. So we operate the best we can. It's just that it doesn't generate a lot of revenue. But we do have some plans for the future. It's just a question of whether we'll be able to implement them in the near future or it'll take more time.
Thank you. And is the work complete on the bridge? I noticed you've been working on building the sidewalk out there that we're doing much better than what it was. But are there any other improvements that are going to be made to the bridge on Americana Road?
So you're talking about the bridge off of Commercial?
Correct.
Yeah, they still have to do the sidewalk that is on each side of the bridge on Commercial Street, and then do a little bit of leveling of that small piece of the Americana Road that's on the west side of the bridge to bring it up a little bit, and that's really all that's left to be done.
Okay, thank you.
I haven't talked to Carl Gabrielson, who's with us, who has worked with the city. They got some plans approved, and then something held it up. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head what that was, but I can check with Carl and see where it's at. I don't know if Mike Valentine knows more, since Mike's the acting city manager on it. He may not be up to speed, but I think we're ready to go to finish it if the plans are ready to go and approved. And I think that's really it with Americana Road. That will be the last bit of work to be done.
All right, thank you so much.
Does the council have any questions of Mr. Lamb?
Yep, Mr. Lamb, I was going to ask you, what other improvements are being considered across from the Hilton you talked about?
So across from the hotel,
Yes.
we're going to install some like kind of outdoor exercise equipment. We have plans potentially, but we've kind of tabled them for a while. A pickleball court over there that would be open to the public. We've also considered whether we might build an additional building or something nearby for additional retail, but that's on hold also. But, we've had a series of, well, any of you, I know most of you knew Jay. So we had a lot of ideas from Jay of what we would do, from retail with housing above it, and because of his health, we sort of moved those slowly, and now we're just going to have to reconsider those things. So, but the public improvements really are that big area right across the street from the hotel as to what else we will do. We're finishing up that water wheel with the water feature, and then, as they said, we'll install some exercise equipment and then possibly do a pickleball court in the near future. We're just kind of waiting to see.
Definitely have a nice view from the interstate going north.
Yes.
Any other questions of Mr. Lamb?
Mr. Lamb, first off, thank you for being here this evening and taking your time to share this information with us. We appreciate it. It's definitely a really nice gem in the downtown area of Trinidad. As Councilman DeBono said, it's a really nice view driving by, and it's great to be in there. I had a question, and it's not a specific question, but I was wondering, is there any concerns that the La Puerta group may have that are causing any negative interaction, potential problems with the businesses that are operating there, that partnership through some capacity with the city might be able to help? I was wondering if you had any concerns of that nature.
We always have concerns. One, obviously, council, you have the best interests of the city at heart. It's part of what we've experienced from some of our partners and tenants or whatever is, it seems like there's been a slowdown in off-highway traffic. I don't know what we can do to increase that again, because it was going really well for a while. That's about the only thing now that I hear from anybody down there, is it seems like things have slowed down a lot. The economy has slowed. And maybe, if we put our heads together, we can increase that. So other than that, I don't think there's any other real major concerns that we would need to discuss with the city at this point. If you have concerns, let us know.
Oh, I understand. I acknowledge that was a vague question, but thank you. I do appreciate your answer and your time, Mr. Lamb.
Well, thank you.
Any other questions? All righty, sir, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Do I have a motion to approve the La Puerta Business Improvement District 2025 operating plan and budget?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Call the
Second.
vote. Okay, we got 3 seconds. Call the vote, please.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
DeBono,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 9A, first reading of an ordinance granting local landmark designation to the property located at 316 South Chestnut. There's a legal description, but just for time and I don't want to go through it. It's 316 South Chestnut Street, City of Trinidad, Los Animas County, Colorado, and setting a public hearing on December 3rd, 2024 at 6 o'clock. I need someone to intro.
I'll introduce.
Say it.
Motion?
Was so moved.
Second.
Second.
Call the vote, please.
DeBono,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 9B, resolution amending marijuana sales tax allocation policy. Is anybody going to present, or we just?
Mayor, I can give a little brief description on what's going on here. Basically, the marijuana sales tax is down, and the current policy is city projects 65%, incentives 4%, nonprofits 1%, and rainy day fund 30%. If you recall, they're down. The nonprofits 1% is not that much money, and the community foundation has requested that it's just more work, and they don't have enough money to make any difference for the nonprofits. So, and with the budget the way it is, per our discussion at City Council work session, it was suggested that we take 100% of that, the marijuana sales, the 5% tax, and put it toward operations. One caveat is less $20,000 per year beginning 2025 that would be dedicated to economic development and affordable housing. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Eli, do you have any questions?
No, I don't, Madam Mayor.
No.
None.
Not since our work session.
Okay. I have just a minor question. So it says.
Mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have a question, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I apologize. Forgot about you.
My question is, if it's going into our general expenditures or general fund, are we going to get a quarterly report the same way, where we find out where the money has been allocated as part of a general expense, or is it just going to be, here's the amount and we won't have any further information about that?
Cheryl's here.
So it will go into our revenues under the retail sales tax and then the marijuana tax. We can give reports when Cheryl gives her reports on the finances. We can, right, Cheryl? We can give them the amount collected, or it kind of lags behind a month almost or more when we get those reports, but we can definitely let you know how much is collected.
I think it would be helpful for us to understand that,
Okay.
where it is.
Okay?
But I have a question. Oh, I'm sorry, Neiman, do you have a question? Any question?
listening.
Okay, okay. But it's just going into the general fund, right? So you're not designating the marijuana taxes for anything specific, correct? Or are we?
We are designating a small portion. 20,000 would be the amount appropriated to economic development.
Okay,
And then We put, I believe, 12,000 in the budget for safety for all the departments, as we meet the source of safety guidelines. We allocated 40,000 to demolition. That's the planning director asked for that amount. There's 35,000 in there. Oh, 35,000 in there for horticulture for the flower program in the
Okay.
summer. And then that's it. So we've allocated 113,000 of what we anticipate already in the budget. The rest of it will be absorbed into the regular general fund.
Okay. Can you give us those figures, I mean, in writing and send them out to council, please? After, when
The
we,
amounts I just said,
yes,
they're in the budget.
oh, are they?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
And actually, I'm creating a new budget based on the work session, and I'll be loading that into the Drive, Excel version and PDF copy. I almost finished it today, so I'll get it loaded probably tomorrow.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So I have a question to you, Mr. Valentine. So it says housing or economic development. Is that an either or economic development through housing?
It could be either or, and before we do anything, would be brought to council
Okay.
to make that decision.
Okay.
It's not something you just
All right,
do, right?
all right. I need a motion.
So
to-
moved.
Second,
Second.
call the vote, please.
DeBono,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 9C, resolution authorizing expenditure of marijuana revenue received by the city of Trinidad, second quarter of 2024. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
discussion. Mr. Williamson, do you have anything?
Right.
Mr. Sure.
No.
Mr. Thurman, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Ms. Ogletree, do you have any questions?
And we're doing the allocation of, this will be the last time that we're doing it according to the last system, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
But this
Okay.
is, but this is just the second quarter.
No, I don't have any. I note that the fire department is getting about $25,000 again in equipment. That's all.
Is that right? So
Yeah,
we
this will
still
be the
have.
last quarter that we're allocating in this manner. Third and fourth quarter will be absorbed by the general fund.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
okay. I thought we were gonna start 2025.
No.
Okay,
We
third and
need it
fourth.
now.
Okay.
Just for clarification, the 20,000 will start in 2025.
Oh, okay, okay. I have, just to jiggle my memory a little bit, Cheryl, quarterly ongoing commitment to general fund is 150. So that just goes, that's been ongoing
That's
for
been
quite some.
automatically dumping in. If you recall, probably 2 or 3 years ago, that particular money was for positions we hired with marijuana money. So it includes 4 officers, event coordinator, office of outdoor rec. We hired positions with this money.
Okay.
And it came up to about 600,000 a year, including fringe. So that's what that money was set aside for.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Call the vote, please.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
DeBono,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Thank you, Cheryl. Item 9D, resolution of the City Council of the City of Trinidad, Colorado, authorizing the use of natural gas fund reserves to write off the deficit recognized in the gas fund.
Good evening, Ms. Mayor and
Hi.
City Council. I'm asking for approval of a resolution for the write-off of $1.5 million in the gas fund to cover the deficit that we had starting back in 2021. I believe we discussed this back in November of 2023, and then in January of 2024, when we approved the gas rate increase. This was all discussed, but we never did a resolution on a vote to write that off.
Okay.
So that's what I'm here to ask for your approval.
Aaron Ogletree, do you have any questions?
Sorry. No, I don't. Thank you.
Neiman, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Eli?
How much of a deficit are we talking about?
We're asking 1.5 million. We have a deficit of 2.7. We're going to try to write off the 1.5 now. The rate increase that we did back in February, well, it started March 1st of 2024, was a 10 cents increase per CCF. And then November 1st, which was just a few days ago, we started the other 10 cents. So we're going to see where that comes out at probably start doing another rate study in September of next year and see where we're at that point. And then we'll decide what the other one. We didn't want to write the whole thing off at this point. We want to see what we could get.
No questions.
Annie?
No questions at all.
I apologize. It always seems like, because things take so long between when we first discuss it and it finally happens, it seems like there's always hashing of rehash, right? But, so the missing money that developed, that has been, I want to clarify, that money started in 2021. That's
Yeah.
when we started accruing that. And is that because of the imbalance between how much we are charging and how much we are paying for gas,
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
I mean, and inside of that money, there's probably other causes of money that was lost potentially, but the majority is the imbalance between money collected and money paid.
That was
Not it wasn't unpaid bills, but just paid too low bills, correct?
yes. We were purchasing gas more than what we were selling gas for.
Okay.
And then we did a rate study in 2022.
Yeah.
We increased it slightly according to what the rate increase, what they wanted us to do. As that started going, didn't look like it was working. The war happened, gas increased even
Right.
more. So then we started in 2022 to do another rate increase, or 2023 to do another rate increase, which we voted on in November of 23 to get that one.
Okay. And now we are entered in contract, I presume, with JK Energy Consulting. I mean, that's across all of our utilities, right?
Well, I'm just doing it for the gas, and that, I guess he's also the consultants for ARPA for the electric.
Okay.
So
I guess that's my question. We had the presentation just a little bit ago with all the graphs and charts
that was with Waterworth. That's a software company
but
that does that. It's
right.
yeah.
No, I understand that. But are they reviewing? They're reviewing every utility.
They don't review my gas supply charges. They review my delivery and meter and billing.
Okay.
They don't do the gas supply because of
Yes.
the fluctuation in the pricing.
Okay.
It's a little more difficult and it doesn't work quite as well in their software program.
Okay. So, what is the stopgap or the safety that we have in place to prevent this from accruing again and accumulating again to this degree? How are you preventing that?
We're keeping a close eye on it, and then we're stopping at 500,000. Anything above 500,000. It's written in our gas tariff now that we could make changes periodically and not just on November 1st. But if the price increases by more than 1 cent per CCF, we would be able to make changes, come to you sooner and make sooner changes.
So, I mean, and nothing can be written in stone. I get that. You can't have anything's guaranteed, but in your professional opinion, you would say us getting back up to 2.8, 2.7 million is not very likely then.
Yeah, that should not happen again.
All right. I appreciate your time. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I think it's what we have to do. And what I don't remember, and I didn't see, but I don't remember, what will that leave anything in reserves for operational? Like, what is the health of our reserves after this will take place?
There's no cash coming out of the reserve, correct?
That's correct.
Yes.
We're writing off a receivable, so
Okay.
it doesn't affect, it'll affect the fund balance, but that receivable is included in the fund balance. I believe it's 10 million, his fund balance right now, so it'll bring it down to about 7.5
Okay.
million.
Okay.
8.5.
I have no further questions, Mayor.
Okay, so adding on to that, the 7.5 million that we'll have left over, that's not including that increase of 10 cents that we're doing to repay that 1.2, right?
The only way that it affects it is it either brings the receivable up or down. So if we're collecting more with the increase, then it's going to bring the receivable down. If we're not collecting enough, it'll continue to accumulate in the opposite direction. And I don't know if you recall, but in the last quarterly report, we were starting to move in the correct direction with the first increase. We won't know exactly what's happening until we get into these colder months, and we'll see the actual effect. So,
And when will that be? I'm sorry.
November 1st.
Probably November 1st of next year.
No, wait. When will what be?
When will we know if we upped it?
So in September, late August, early September, I'm probably going
Of
to start the rate
25?
study of 25. Yes.
Okay.
And see where we're at that point.
But as he said, should there be an outbreak, another war or something like that,
The election.
he would be able to come to you in the new tariff and say, all right, we're at 50 cents,
adjust
we
it.
need to increase to 50 cents.
Yeah.
So,
How do you monitor that, Steve?
Cheryl's doing most of the monitoring with it. And
On
then
the
she
prices?
communicates with me, and then I look at the pricing that we're getting from NPGA. And that's affected, that pricing is a daily change.
Really?
Yeah, it's a daily change. It doesn't stay the same day by day. We try to monitor it through the month and see what we're paying. It's really a little bit difficult to
Okay.
keep track of that.
we're always
We have to
behind.
wait, we're behind because what we get, we pay for it in September, but we're still collecting from August.
Okay.
Everything in gas is
It's always a month, legs a month behind.
Okay. All righty.
Plus, just to add, JK Engineering actually looks at weather patterns projected out, the cost of the commodity at the Louisiana gate station, and there's a gate station in New York. I mean, it's a complicated formula, and trying to keep that balance is tough, so
Okay.
that's where the consultant should come in
Okay.
and monitor that as well.
All righty. I learn something new every meeting. Thank you. Any other questions?
No.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Call the vote, please.
DeBono?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Trahell?
Yes.
Ogletree?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Griego?
Yes. Item 9E, consideration of a letter of support for installation of ice sprinkler water conservation device within, it doesn't say it here, but within one of the city parks in Trinidad. This is the handout I gave everybody, it's ice sprinkler. I was contacted by Jeff Shoemaker, who is now part of the Colorado Parks Foundation. And what they are doing is they're developing sprinkler heads to help monitor and conserve water. And so what he called me, the reason that we had to amend the the agenda was because I just got this. Monday, and City Hall was closed Tuesday, so I wrote a letter and I signed it, but I will not release it until I get approval from council to issue the letter. So let me read it to you. If you want a copy, I will be, before we leave the building tonight, I'll make a copy and give it to you. It says it's addressed to the Colorado Parks Foundation in care of Jeff Shoemaker, who is the executive director. Dear sir, the city of Trinidad has been given pertinent information regarding the ice sprinkler team and the Colorado Parks Foundation. This project will beneficially impact the conservation of water and related infrastructure in both commercial and residential usage. The City Council has voted unanimously, I'm just assuming, in favor of allowing the ice sprinkler product to be used in field testing in one of our public parks. We believe that this initial field testing will be beneficial in the future to the city and its citizens. Partnering with the Colorado Parks Foundation, the ice sprinkler team, the city will help determine if this innovative system can be of benefit to the drought issues we are facing, knowing that we are dealing both publicly and privately with antiquated irrigation systems that are wasting untold amounts of our most precious natural resource. We feel that supporting this product is important. It is our belief that the ice sprinkler system may have the potential to address this critical issue facing our parks, recreation areas, open spaces, and residential landscapes. This system will be a major step forward in helping minimize inefficiencies while benefiting everyone in our great state. Please accept this letter as affirmation of our support of the field testing for the ice sprinkler system in the city of Trinidad. We look forward to continuing our engagement with the Colorado Parks Foundation in this manner, and it's signed Karen Grego, Mayor of Trinidad. So what it is, it's no
Point of order, Mayor.
Pardon?
Is this on our agenda?
Yes.
It's on the amended agenda.
It's on-
I hadn't received the amended agenda. Okay.
It was
I'm
posted.
sorry.
Okay.
It's
It was-
item 9E.
Not on the original
Okay.
agenda, but on the amended agenda.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you for the
Okay,
clarification.
so what it is, there's no money involved. All Mr. Shoemaker wants us to do is let one of the parks within the city system use these sprinkler systems to see if we can reduce our usage of water and help maintain pressure, so it kind of, I'm assuming from what he's told me, help with the longevity of the pipes and infrastructure, so.
Mayor, if I could, ma'am, I'm getting a lot of kind of arched brow looks from members of
Okay.
council
Well-
out there. And you know, all of you can speak. I think this is kind of unknown to members of council, and anyway, I guess I will defer to you. It seems like kind of possibly taking a course of action that maybe council has not been involved with previously. But I don't want to speak for you. I just was seeing a lot of arched brows up there and kind of curious looks.
Well, I mean, if it's on the agenda, we can have a discussion.
Right. I'm just saying the letter.
No,
and
I appreciate it, Les.
you bet.
I didn't want to start the questions if it wasn't
Go
my
ahead.
turn. So, Mayor, you said there would be no cost to the city.
No.
My question was, I mean, you know, I saw the little picture, but I mean, maybe there's the cost of the equipment, but there's other costs that might need to be considered: installation, who's installing it, maintenance, if they're broken, lost, stolen, borrowed. I don't know. I mean, And then is it covered by, is it gonna be in a contract? I mean, just, there's a lot of unknowns. I think it'd be nice to do, but I don't know more than we do know right now. That's the only question I have right now, unless others have some, and then I might have more.
Okay. Yeah.
Just got confused because it's kind of out of left field. Did we?
Well, that's a sprinkler.
Yeah, you're like, that was good. So, Public Works is Parks and Recs, right? So, have they chimed in on this at all? It's just what I'm curious on, like if they're okay with letting this gentleman go in. If that's how I'm assuming he's going to go in and change all these out for us.
They're not, they're just using it, from my discussion with Mr. Shoemaker, they're just changing out several sprinkler heads.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
Like
it's
the whole
not,
park?
No,
Okay.
they're using it, he wants to use it as a test.
A test site.
Yes,
Oh, okay, that makes sense because I didn't catch that in the beginning.
and this, I mean, I can redo the letter and ask that we have a contract, or have Mr. Downs take care of this from here on in. I was the person that was contacted, so I just want to be very transparent. When somebody asks me for a letter of support, I do not issue it
No, it's
until
good.
I bring it to council.
Oh, okay, here it is. Because I haven't got a chance to read through the whole thing. Basic demonstration of 2 or more heads.
Yes,
So it's not really like a ton.
no.
Yeah, I hadn't had time to review the
Yeah,
whole
that's
thing
why
there,
I-
that's why I was confused.
My time to read it would have been, I think, what I needed.
Well,
No, you're good. You're good. But,
And I don't even know if does Aaron have this?
No.
That's all the questions I had. Yeah, if it's just a couple sprinkler heads versus a whole park conversion. Okay, that clears that up for me.
Mr. Schiff,
Yeah, I don't have any questions.
Mr. DeBono.
So if this materializes and these sprinkler heads, the theory sounds good. What happens if it's worth doing? What's wrong with our old sprinkler system?
Well, we're just a test,
Right.
so
We're
it
test
doesn't
dummies.
obligate us to, I'm speaking for somebody else and I'm not comfortable, but it was put on my plate, so I have to dish it out, but
Because I remember.
we're not obligated to buy sprinkler heads.
Right.
He's just trying to see if in a real life situation, these sprinkler heads will
Save us.
conserve
Yeah.
water and help preserve the infrastructure. of the
Anything with an I in front of it is better.
Mm-hmm.
water. That's what I, yeah,
Okay.
okay. Any otper question?
No.
Naaman,
Yes, Mayor.
okay.
Mayor,
Yeah, I hear you. I called Naaman
Okay.
first, but go ahead.
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you. Say that again, please.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm so, okay, sorry. Is this something that you and Mike have vetted? Did Mr. Valentine vet this request, and so he understands what staff, if any, would be involved in this project?
We're vetting it right now.
I did actually get online and do a little bit of research on this, and basically you have it here. It's a sprinkler head that is a smart sprinkler head that has electronics in it. It analyzes, you're able to maybe eventually use your iPhone to operate. It somehow monitors how much water in certain areas is needed. Fully vetted, no, but my opinion is if we maybe out here in City Hall lawn area, we're able to watch it, and it's just, my understanding is take a sprinkler off and screw this one on and just, I think they will be able to monitor it via Wi-Fi, internet, magic airwaves.
And Mr. Shoemaker's group is going to follow through on all this and get back to us about the results of this, or how will that work?
This is just a letter of support to say that we would be interested. I'm sorry, can you hear me, Erin? It sounds like...
Just barely. You said just a letter of support.
Yes, this is just a letter of support for the project.
As long as our city manager is fine with whatever involvement the staff will have to offer regarding this, in terms of training or anything like that, I am fine in supporting this. I don't have a problem with it.
I believe because it's a test, and I'm not 100% sure, but because it's a test, they have to monitor it, or if he's trying to get grant money or whatever for financing, there's a third party that will monitor the effectiveness of and it's just 1 or 2 sprinkler heads, it's not a lot.
Okay.
Okay. Naaman, do you have anything more, Aaron?
Yeah, I just want to know. I want to know did they have a site, ideal site for themselves that we possess that they want to work out of?
I think Mr. Shoemaker will have to get a hold of Mike and find out where we want to put these sprinkler heads. It's not anything specific. Okay. It's not up to him where we put them, I think. I know it's up to Mr. Valentine to see where we want these sprinkler heads. Probably in a very small area, just enough to get some results from the data collected by the sprinkler head.
Okay.
Any other question?
Thank you for your transparency.
That was really appreciated.
Hey, it's amazing what you do as mayor. It's
Right.
jack of all trades, master of none. Okay, I need a motion to submit a letter of support to Mr. Shoemaker and the Colorado Parks Foundation for an ice sprinkler water conservation device as a test.
So moved.
Second.
Call the vote, please.
DeBono,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 10, reports by city manager and city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. As discussed earlier, we'll have a work session. It won't be on Monday, Veterans Day. We'll all be over here eating. It'll be on the 12th, normal time, and there'll be items on that agenda. And the only other thing I have is just a report. Karen Wolf received a grant, no match required, from the Colorado State Forest Service to improve our urban tree canopy. It's for the removal of over 70 invasive hazardous trees and pruning dead wood, to use the Mahi Youth Corp, to have outreach events and education, to get a tree inventory on our city parks, and then manage, she will be managing a plan. It's in the amount, I don't know if I said that, $98,000. So it's a lot of reporting, but there's also some tree planting that will happen along with that. So I think it was a great thing to get, especially no match. And maybe we could use these sprinklers, water those trees.
Go quit your day job. Mr. Downs?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, council members. Only one thing for me to report on. And please check your emails if you would. And for those of you who prefer a hard copy, I will be getting you a hard copy. There are several attachments to that. But what I want to mention to you is that On the work session, we're going to be discussing the Natural Medicine Act and a proposed ordinance regarding that. That is the legislative enactment that was created by a popular initiative regarding mushrooms. And I do want to tell all of you that that is the thing that we are not allowed to opt out of. We can only regulate the time, manner, and place and have restrictions on that. But one thing, well, a couple of things I want to tell you along those lines. One is, there now, you're going to be thrilled to know this, there's now a natural medicine division of the Department of Revenue. So you have the Marijuana Enforcement Division, the Natural Medicine Division, and of course there's always liquor enforcement. So those branches of the Department of Revenue. But the reason I mention that is because I have a contact person there now, a woman by the name of Allison Robinette, and I will send you her email. But she does a what I refer to as a traveling road show, where she will come down here or do it virtually and present to council on this new act and the things we have to do. The problem is she has an availability for November 14th. Of course, that's 2 days after the work session where I want to talk to you about this. But she has an availability on the 14th, 18th, 19th, or 20th. I will send this to all of you and you can let me know what days work best for you. But the other thing, and I guess the last thing I want to tell you, is that I'm going to be doing a draft ordinance for you. So you can look at it and we can talk about that and do those things. It is part of your materials. Please look, because back in the days of marijuana, we generated maps for 500 yards from schools and daycare centers or preschools in the downtown. We did 500 and 1,000 feet. Did I say yards? Sorry, that's football. No. Yeah, no, just kidding. So, anyway, and the distance, so that is so that you can consider whether you want 500 or 1,000 feet from these facilities. But the last thing I want to tell you is, it's kind of a relief to know that this whole scheme does not involve the sale of mushrooms or the city regulating mushroom sales. What happens is they have administration centers, and that's what these places are called. And so a person who wants to do this will go to an administration center. They'll have a pre-administration session and then an administration session, and depending on the dosage, they will be at the administration establishment for several hours while they do this whole administration of psilocybin or psilocin. And what they're paying for, so it's all regulated, and they will get their product essentially from mushroom cultivation facilities that are regulated by the state of Colorado. They will get the product, they will administer it accordingly. The people will, have it administered, go on this high, and they will pay for the session. They're not actually paying for the mushrooms. So we will not have to regulate the sales of mushrooms or have like retail stores for mushrooms.
So where will they get their mushrooms?
They will get them from sanctioned marijuana cultivation facilities and distribution centers. And let me tell you, there's a long regulatory scheme, just like there was in the whole field of marijuana, medical and then retail marijuana. And one of the reasons why it's taken so long to do this is so that the state could do the whole regulatory scheme and do the code of regulations and also the statutory scheme to regulate all this. But to answer your question, it's all regulated and controlled and distributed, at least for now, by the state of Colorado. So you won't have stores selling mushrooms.
So the mushrooms don't go home with the consumer?
Exactly.
Okay,
That's a good point.
It's just in the facility?
That's absolutely correct.
Okay.
So if you want to do this, the only place you can do it is in the administration center. So what you'll be talking about is time, manner, and place regulations and restrictions on administration centers. I'm sorry for having my back to the rest of the council members that appear by way of Zoom, but we will talk about that, and that is going to be, again, on the work session agenda. I'm just sorry that I can't have this woman come down, to present to you before that. But
But the 19th is our regular meeting, is there,
okay.
it's too late by then for her to come?
Well, and it would be, let's see, her availabilities are, she has a date on the 14th where she can do it by way of Zoom. She says the 14th, I guess that's a Thursday, any time that day other than 3 to 4.
Okay,
So, and then she also has the 18th, and then, yeah, I know that Tuesday, the 19th would be the regular meeting. She can also do the 20th.
would it be beneficial to have her make her presentation on the 19th, or is it?
Well, that is, it's hard to do and have like an information gathering session during a regular meeting.
Okay.
Right, so it would be nice if we do the 14th or the 18th. It would really be nice if we could do the 14th, just kind of an earlier time. But I will send this email to all of you.
Okay.
Okay, and of course, to Mike and,
So what about changing the work session from the 12th to the 14th?
That might be beneficial. I have to be in Denver early next week. So.
Okay.
Council's prerogative, that's fine.
Can you hear, Aaron, what we're trying to do?
Yes, I have a meeting from 3 to 4 that afternoon on the
So,
14th.
okay,
okay.
so that probably won't work for us.
Yeah.
Neiman, are you available on the 14th?
What day is the 14th?
Thursday.
Thursday.
I can do the 14th.
Okay.
Well,
I can't do the 14th.
I can't either.
No?
No.
Okay.
okay.
We'll just have to wing it then.
Okay.
No, it's just.
All right, that sounds fine. And I have sent you a number of ordinances from other municipalities and
Could we see a 3,000-foot map of it?
yes, yes.
Was that not?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to do it.
How many years ago, do you remember that the state, the voters voted that in? Was it 2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago. And this is exactly what they did with marijuana. It required a couple of years, yep. After the passage of Amendment 64 for retail marijuana, and it was Amendment 20 for medical marijuana in the early aughts. But it's 2 years. So
Would it be possible, this is, I think it's important, to have our communications officer or somebody put it out there to the public that this isn't anything the city of Trinidad has control over. It's state mandated, because I don't want people to think that we're doing this to increase revenues.
absolutely, absolutely. I think that's a very good idea, a very good idea. Right, because there are, many, there will be criticism for
Yes.
the city doing this, and literally, we have no option. No municipality in the state of Colorado has an option to opt out. You can only regulate.
Even if we're home rule.
That's absolutely correct. You can't do it. And if you look, I know just what you want to do is to read a statute, but if you look at the statute, it says in there, I think it's, well, anyway, one of the statutory sections says municipalities are not allowed to opt out. And they consider it a solution for a number of things, a potential solution, like, prescription drug addiction, insufficient mental health in the state. They have a number of things of, for the rationale for this and how this, they're hoping will be beneficial for people. an alternative to those kinds of things. In addition to an alternative for those things.
All right.
Yes, sir.
What's the deadline date that we have to have this done by?
Well, by the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
By
so
the
we
end of the
have-
year. We have to have something by
Well,
2020.
You gotta have a first and second
Right,
reading, so.
right. And then 10 days.
Yeah.
Yep, 10
So
days
it's-
after second
yeah.
reading.
We're
Okay.
there.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. Glad you
All right.
asked.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, and that is all I have, other than the law day was a huge success.
Heard.
Huge success, it was very nice. We were there all day. You may know Joanne Montero, very helpful
I
gal.
don't.
Okay.
No,
I don't. Anyway, everybody was very helpful. Space to Create was a wonderful place. The Department of Human Services also had people there. It was very well attended. It was a very nice event.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I
That's all
hear
I
you
have.
were a rock star then.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You have bad sources of information. With all due respect, ma'am. I'm kidding. Thank you for saying that. I hope so.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All righty. The next item on the agenda is adjournment, just to make it clear, so we don't get confused. Our next work session is November 12th, 3 p.m. Enough time, Mr. Valentine?
Yes.
3 p.m. Okay. All righty. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Call the vote, please.
DeBono?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Trahell?
Yes.
Ogletree?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Griego?
Yes. Thank you all. Meeting's adjourned.
Roger that.
Roger that.
Have you ever had an offer?